Hey, here we go again. Once again, we're setting this straight with fam. And here we go again. We got my boys with me today. We about to do it up again, talking about them Dallas Cowboys, talking about them boys. How about them Cowboys? That's right, because they did their thing yesterday. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep it straight. We're going to keep it straight with fam. We're going to give you the real deal because that's what we do. We talking about that game yesterday, man. You know, I was a little nervous. When we came up in that game yesterday, because you know them Seahawks. You know, everybody talking about, well, you know, it's that time. We're going to see what they do against a team that have a winning record. Well, we walked in, and we did just that. We got that W. But looking at that game though, because it's a lot came out of that game yesterday. It was a lot. It was a lot to be told. It's a lot of things that, you know, but you know, I have to really think about, you know, did they tell you something? I mean, did we learn anything? Joshua, tell me, what did you know? What do you know?
All right. So it told me, I mean, it told us a lot of things. So A, they can win against winning teams, right? So, I mean, you're going to get a real test next week. But this definitely tells you that A, if your defense is struggling, you definitely can get you can definitely lean on your offense, right? Your quarterback is playing out of its mind right now, out of his mind, right? And you can depend on your quarterback. On your offense. I won't just say the quarterback, but you can depend on your offense to keep them in the game and set them up for wins, right? Set you up for success, right? Keep you in games and set you up to win the game, right? So that's one thing that this game has told us, right? Told me. There's been a lot of times where you've seen the media heads been like, hey, you know, your team's going to have to depend on your defense, right? This goes to Micah Parsons, DaRon Bland, you know, Leighton Vander Esch. I mean, he's broken right now, but it depends on your defense, right? But this game seems like it's starting to be a changing of the guard, if you will. So that's one thing that this game has told me. What about you, Jordan?
This game told me it told me a few things, but there is still a question mark lingering, and we already know what the question mark is. I'm not going to get into that because we got a W. But what this did tell me is Dak's MVP, and I don't care about no Pat Mahomes. I don't care about no Josh Allen, no Lamar. I don't care. My quarterback elite. Y'all don't want to call him elite. Y'all want to talk about, what are you gonna do when your defense
That's right.
puts up points? And what are you gonna do when you face a team over 500? What are you gonna do when you play a playoff team, caliber team? Oh, la. I don't care because I got Rain, Dakota, Prescott making it rain.
That's right.
Don't
That's right.
him out there. Man, he should have had 4 touchdowns. CD dropped one.
That's
and
right.
He forced it into coverage. And he put it right in CD hand.
Yeah.
UPS couldn't deliver better than that. Come on, man. That's what this game taught me. This game showed me that, hey, you know, when Dak is able to run the offense how he's wants to run it, when, you know, they're scheming guys like Cooks and letting Cooks cook, you know, when you get in the ball, feeding CD, you know, and letting him go play, this is what we get. You know, you got Pollard. People talk about, I don't know about Pollard. I don't know. But Pollard running there and giving you good physical yards, moving the chains.
That's right. That's right.
It told me that my offense is ready to hang with the best of them. That's what this game showed me. Now, is there some more to prove? Yes. And now I know I listened, because it's right now it's Friday, and we got to hear all the naysayers talk. And now all of a sudden, oh, it's just Seattle. I mean, they're a solid team. They're la 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 la. Whatever, bro. They about to go in the playoffs, and the way they played us, they had injuries, but those guys that were injured, they had a lot of guys come back. They acting like they ain't got dogs on that defense. They acting like this is not one of the best secondaries in the league. They acting like they ain't got Bobby Wagner, Pro Bowl, All-Pro, Super Bowl player. And they act like they ain't got Jamal Adams back there, who, by the way, hats off to my guy Ferguson, who also showed up and put a body bag somebody in the end zone. I don't know who it was. I ain't going to say no names, but that's name sound like Adams. So this is what this game showed me, that my team is ready and Dak is ready. And hey, don't let my quarterback win the MVP. I know they're gonna come up with every excuse in the book on why he shouldn't get MVP, but hey, the proof is in the pudding, man.
That's right. Hey, look, I tell you what.
Yeah,
go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, did you guys get a feeling that Seattle was playing desperate though, like from start to finish? Like they were hitting harder, catching tighter passes, They were like everything that they were doing was clicking, right? It seemed like they were playing like desperate, like they were, as a poker term, saying they were playing on tilt, right? And
they played their best ball,
giving it all they had.
They played their best ball.
They gave it everything that they had.
Yeah, they gave their best ball. They played. Hey, look, man. They fighting for a playoff position. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like they're just playing and like this game doesn't matter to them, because it mattered. You know what I'm saying? They had to come in there and they on the road. Yeah, we home, but they had to come and give it. And kudos to them, man. They put up a fight. You know what I'm saying? They did their thing. They brought it to us, because to be honest, when we were talking about it earlier, I was saying that I didn't think they was going to get more than 17 points based on their history, based on what I saw, what they were capable of doing. I was like, against our defense, man, they're not going to put more than 17. But hey, they did their thing. They did their thing. You know what I'm saying? And I must say, you're right, Jordan. And well, actually, both of you guys were talking about is when our defense not able to hold like they're capable of. You know what I'm saying? Our offense be able to. Dak put that hat on. He put his hard hat on, man, and walked in there and say, let's get to work. Let's get to work. And he put in work, man. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing. So, of course, and just like the segment we started doing with the Yabbats. Of course they're gonna say that, because before Seattle, they were saying, well, we'll find out once they play a team with a winning record. We'll find out when they play, Seattle. Okay, now what? What's going to happen? Oh, well, we'll see when they play against Philly. And then when we beat Philly, because that's what we going to do, they're going to say, well, we'll see what they do in the playoffs. That's the Yabbas, man. He's good, but right, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Miami, right. He got to do it the whole time. He got to be perfect before we give him anything. And, you got Jalen Hurts throwing like multiple interception in the game, but it was hard on Dak when he was throwing the interception. Then you got Jalen Hurts throwing them all of those interceptions, and then nobody saying anything like, well, Jalen Hurts going to have to win another game to prove us something to, that he's the man up there, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't playing great, but he win the game, but he wasn't like he did all of it to himself, like, well, whatever, guys. That's what it's going to be. So
I don't care what the talking heads are saying. Just want to let you guys know your quarterback has moved to number 2 in the MVP odds.
Right. So who's number 1? Who's number 1?
Jalen Hurts is number 1.
That's funny.
There's no way. Here we go. There's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts. You got the best O-line, giving you 1st and 8 every single time you out there. You got AJ Brown bailing you out, because all you got to do is throw short intermediate routes. How many deep balls that Jalen throw? How many accurate passes? How many window? Come on, man. This guy plays like crap for like half the game, and then the fourth quarter, thanks to everybody else around him, letting him stay in the game, they pull off victories, which you got to give them. They know how to win in tight. But come on, man, ain't no way.
They need, but look.
What you say? Ain't no way.
But they need help though. They need help from someone else. You need help from the defense. I mean, from the other team, to allow them to win the game because they don't win the game. They just don't lose it. That's the thing. You know, it comes down to that because well we gonna see what's up though when we this coming Sunday when we not this Sunday but the following Sunday when we meet. We gonna see what's happening because what I think is gonna happen. I'm almost sure what's gonna happen, but then we'll see what the naysayer says. But looking at this, still talking about Dak and those passes that. So what would you think is the reason why he's playing the way he's playing right now? Because as you know, I'm always saying that the offensive coach and my head and McCarthy, I'm like, man, somebody, what's going on here? Why he's not playing like this? So. What do you think? Go ahead, Joshua. Go ahead.
Look, I'm smiling because you hit the nail on the head. Look, you can't say that this offense is humming without giving the offensive coordinator / head coach his flowers. Now, don't get me wrong, right? Head coach wise, I mean, he had some questionable calls, right? We can get into that later.
A lot of
but as far as offensively goes, he knows the strength of each individual player, whether it's a wide receiver, whether it's lineman, whether it's the quarterback, and he's definitely feeding into those strengths. Now, don't get me wrong, like Dak Prescott is a very cerebral player, so it helps to have a cerebral player like that, and so that way it's easier for you to instill your offense and put these players where they need to be. I mean, when you have somebody that's more accurate, that's more fundamentally sound, that can take the edge off the offense as a quarterback, I mean, it's going to be a lot easier, right? I mean, look, CeeDee Lamb has over 1,000 yards already, right? And he's like number 2 in yards right now. That is crazy. And this is coming from a guy that's like saying, oh yeah, you guys forget that I'm the number 1 wide receiver. And then I'll put it to you this way. Dak Prescott has thrown about 20 touchdowns within the last 6 games. The second highest right now is 10 throwing touchdowns. I don't know if you guys understand that, but he's playing out of his mind. But it should all come back to Mike McCarthy, and I think that's the reason why.
Well, I know you want to give him some credit, but hold, I'm gonna have to have you to pump your brakes for a minute because, that just like if I had Kobe, if I had Kobe, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Allen Iverson on the team, I'll probably be the best coach in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Well, my point is, when you got good players, you just not do nothing stupid, and you should succeed. Now I'm talking about you got the players, so he can just go out there and just play. Some good plays. I'm not saying he's a horrible, but I'm talking about the horrible things he does. But okay, if he was so great, why he didn't do it in the beginning of the season? What was all of this? Now we let Dak go. If you're a head coach, man, you didn't know that doing before the season start. Why it took everybody else and what did he have a Jesus talk? Man, who came and whispered in his ears and said, hey, you need to let Dak play. You know what I'm saying? You got all of these players on your team, man. You got, CeeDee Lamb. You got, why can't you do this? What's going on? What about time management? All of this is because
it's not.
Go ahead. Give him credit. Give him credit. You give him way too much. He ain't that great. Offense, right? He's just saying horrible. He just saying.
I don't give him way too much credit. I think.
You give him credit.
Think he's a horrible.
I don't think he's horrible. I don't think he's horrible.
Offensive coordinator.
I don't think he's horrible. I don't think he's
average.
But with a really good team.
So average meaning
with a really good team
is getting you like the number 1 offense right now
because of the players. Again, if I have Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, all of them on the same team, I'm gonna probably be the top offense. And again, because I got players to do that, I don't need to have great knowledge of doing what I need to do because I got the players out there to put the points up. But I'm saying the stupid stuff that he does.
I woefully disagree.
Okay,
I woefully disagree. I don't think that Pat Mahomes will be near. I won't say nearly. I don't think he'll be as good if he didn't have Andy Reid as a offensive coordinator. I really don't. I think he'll be. I think he'll be special.
What?
I think he'll be special, but I don't think he'll be putting up as many points as he would.
Really?
Really?
Not the same amount. Not the
Really?
same amount.
He would
So
still be
so
better.
if he were playing
You
in
had
Dallas, he'd
you
put the
had
same thing.
Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. You had Tyreek Hill and
Right,
Kelsey, both going to
right.
be Hall of Famers.
Right.
There's no way he wasn't gonna put up. There was no way he's not gonna
I'm
put up
saying
numbers,
you had a Hall of Fame. Look,
regardless of
you
his
had a Hall of
offensive
Famer.
coordinator.
Did we not have a Hall of Famer with I won't say a Hall of Famer, but did you not have what's our tight end, the tight end that we had in 2016?
Jason Witten.
Jason Witten. You didn't have Jason Witten, Des Bryant, right? You mean to tell me that you couldn't, like Scott Linehan? You trying to tell me that?
So what I'm saying is, if they had a team that they have today, then yes.
With Scott Linehan.
With the team that they have today. See,
negative. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
So when they do good,
I do. Look. I think having a good offensive coordinator takes you over the top. But when you have Dak playing like Dak, like when you have Tom, this is where I'll say you're wrong in a sense, Josh. Because look at Tampa Bay before Tom Brady got there. They had a whole Super Bowl caliber winning team. But guess what? Who took them over the top?
You can't say the offensive. You can't say the offensive teaching.
You can't say it was, and you can't say that offensive coordinator there, Bruce Arians and them boys, aren't great offensive coordinators because they were. But what was holding that team back? A great quarterback and
interceptions.
Tom got in there.
I remember that year too. I remember the year before. It was interceptions that was holding that team back.
No, it was not having Tom Brady over there. That's what holding them back.
Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston had the most touchdowns, right? But he also had the most interceptions, right?
Right.
So that offense still was humming. Yes.
Did they win the Super Bowl?
Having a quarterback changed a lot of things.
Did they win the Super Bowl?
But that offensive coordinator was still a factor.
No, I'm not saying it's not a factor.
Still a factor.
But see, I don't want you to think
I'm saying Tom Brady got there, it all changed. Because Tom Brady said, because they sat down and said, because remember, before they went into that bye week with Tom Brady, with his first year at Tampa Bay, they was doing it Bruce Arians' way. Then, hey, Tom said, hey, your offensive, that it's documented. You can go back and listen. They said, hey, the playbook and the plays that you run don't work necessarily for me. Let's switch it up a little bit. That's kind of what happened with Dak this year.
I'm about to flip the script on y'all. I'm about to flip the script on y'all real quick, okay?
I'm not saying you don't need an offensive coordinator.
No.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Right? How good was Tom Brady the year before?
And New England?
Mm-hmm.
He was bad because
he was cheeks, right?
Look, Who did he have around him, Josh? Who did he have around him?
Right.
He still had like
no, he
Gronk
didn't. He had nobody.
Even when he had Gronk and everybody like that, he still didn't have
nobody. He had nobody. That's why they was like,
still,
oh, it's so good that Tom left.
Still could have.
I guess you're going to say
he had nobody.
He had a horrible offensive coordinator.
And then I guess you're going to say Bill Belichick is not good. So you're going to say Bill Belichick is not good?
Nobody. His last year in New England, he had nobody.
Bill Belichick. Okay, whoa. Bill Belichick. What type of coach is Bill Belichick?
A defensive coordinator.
Okay, thank you. So anyway, so that goes.
No. But so you're trying to say he's not a good head coach?
Yes, it is.
Oh, so all of those Super Bowls that they got with him he had nothing to do with that. Oh, okay. All right. I'm just saying because since you want to be focused on defense only,
either black or white. It's not either black or white. It's not black or white.
But
you still need a good offensive coordinator to win.
But you're trying to say that he's not a great offensive coordinator. That's what you're saying.
Coordinator. I don't think you necessarily need a good coordinator to win. I think you just need a coordinator that knows how to do his job and make sure those guys are.
And you're telling me the offense that was installed that Mike McCarthy does not know how to do his job.
Well, how you went that far?
Mike McCarthy doesn't know how to do his job.
How would you get all the way out to say nobody's saying that he don't know how to do his job?
Look, I'm saying this. I'm saying he's a better than average offensive coordinator.
Nah.
He is.
That's debatable.
I'm not saying
that's debatable.
That's debatable. I gotta see what you do when you have
Shanahan's the best.
Because to me, a great offensive coordinator is Kyle Shanahan. Look at Kyle Shanahan. Look what he did with
That's what I
Jimmy
just
G.
said.
Look what he did
I
before
just
he
said
had.
that. I said
Huh?
he's the best coordinator. I just said
Who?
that. I said Kyle Shanahan is the best
Okay,
coordinator.
but let me finish telling my point. Okay, you said that, but let me finish my point. Why Kyle Shanahan is so great? Because he took mediocre players, mediocre quarterbacks, mediocre running backs. They had running backs you didn't even know the name, and they was getting over 1,000 yards in his system, right? Then you see when you get somebody like MCM, and you see when you get somebody like Brock Purdy, and you had other tools like Debo, like Kettle, and I forget the receiver's name. You see how that elevates
McCaffrey.
them.
No, that's running back.
Never were they in discussions talking about, dang, they're the number one offense, and this offense is super scary.
You
We
trying
knew
to say
like,
Debo Samuel's nobody, Brandon Ayuk is nobody?
I can't say that.
No,
I
he
cannot
didn't say
that
that.
about
He said they're great.
Mike McCarthy, because I have not seen it. For his whole career, his whole coaching career as head coach, he's always had a great quarterback. So how can I say he's above? I can't tell you. I honestly can't.
No. I mean, it did me giving him saying average NFL
coach. I can tell you as a head coach, I would say he's above average. But there is a lot of things that he lacks because there's too many questionable things that in crucial situations versus 49ers versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
This game.
If we have to go back to Seattle and play Seattle again, there's a lot of things that, hey, if Seattle dials it up right this time, they don't miss a field goal, they get some calls that go their way, that this game could look different.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying. I mean, this is a really good team.
On fourth down when you didn't need to, just kick a field goal. You got not running it at the end of the game. You got the third. What was the other third down he did?
What?
Not calling a timeout for that, getting a delay game.
Those are head coach. Those are head coaching responsibilities.
Yes, that is correct.
Right?
Yes.
And I understand that. Right? Yeah. I understand that. But as an offensive coordinator, it's a lot different. I'm not saying he's the best of the best, but he's definitely above average. He's definitely above average.
Okay.
And you can't tell me. And what would be a reason why you would say that he's not above average?
Because of the way they played this whole first half of the season.
Like without having a talented roster.
I'm just talking about what we do this year. This first half of the season. The decision and the players that we was running. The players we was running when we first started the season. We would the run plays, the trick plays we was doing, the stupid plays that we keep getting hit up in the backfield. All of those. So now it's new offense. Now it's new offense. But that's the reason you want to give now. It's new offense.
You're totally right.
No, yes. Right, I mean, it was
totally
completely wholesale. They changed everything. They changed all the coaches. And the offensive scheme. They changed the offensive coordinator. They changed the run. They changed the O-line coordinator. They changed the run game coordinator. They changed the wide receivers coach.
So what was he? What was he the first game of the season?
Say again?
What was McCarthy's position the first game of the season? Was he running? He was calling plays?
Head coach, and offensive coordinator.
Was he the head offensive coordinator second game? Third? Fourth?
Yes, he was.
No,
he was all that. So you can't. Look,
I'm just saying. So, yes, I can because he was in a position to. He was holding that job.
Are we going to bring up the Cardinals game? If we're going to bring up the Cardinals game,
all of the games, not the Georgia. I'm not bringing up all of the games in first half. The stupid players that he was running. That was lucky that we got a win. Then when we was getting a win. Unless you're talking about the Giants. Oh my God.
So let me ask you a question then. So what changed? What changed?
That's what I asked you. That's what I asked you to ask McCarthy. That's why I said he must have had a Jesus talk because he wasn't playing like that recently. He was playing like he was playing like a below average. He was playing like a below average all the way up. Took all the way up to week 7 to bring that up. It took him to week 7 to somebody.
That. Sometimes it takes.
Yeah, that. when you subpar, it takes you that long. When you subpar, it takes you that long.
Yeah. But no, when you're subpar, you're still gonna know.
Honestly,
when you're subpar,
we will never know. That's why I say I don't know. Like it's a incomplete because we will never know exactly who put their foot down coming off the bye week in the bye week. Because you gotta think they were learning these plays all through training camp, all through the first 5-7 games of the season. But somewhere in that bye week, coming out of that bye week, it was a whole different feel and look. Now, we don't know if this, you want to give Mike McCarthy credit for, not having a huge ego and allowing, being a great head coach and allowing the player feedback. Maybe the offensive coordinator, Schottenheimer, whatever his name is, having him give more feedback. Who we will never know who it is, but I can tell you for sure who was taking credit and for sure who had their handprint all over those first 6 games of the season was Mike McCarthy.
That's right.
Who had their handprint over there. So okay, so let me get this straight. So when they're doing bad, the handprint is Mike McCarthy. But when they're doing good, it's Dak Prescott.
Some credit.
Oh, I didn't
It's
say
Dak Prescott.
Get some credit.
So
no. I didn't. But look, but you confusing what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying McCarthy is a horrible. You trying to make it seem like I'm saying he's horrible, and I'm not saying he's horrible. I'm not saying that he don't deserve the credit now.
I'm making it seem like you're saying he's average.
Oh,
and
but
he's above average.
I am saying he's average. I am saying that, but he was playing below average in the first 6 games.
Average doesn't get you number one offense in the average doesn't get you number one offense in NFL. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, who else is number one that's better than offensive? That's the first game.
I don't know because Pat Mahomes usually has top five offenses, and
Andy Reid,
they're struggling because they don't have no wide receivers, and they still got the same play caller.
They're struggling. They're like the number 3
caller. They still got the same play caller over there, Andy Reid, Hall of Famer. I'm just saying it's
they're struggling so bad that they're like the number 3 and number 4 offense.
It's the players.
They're struggling really bad.
It's the players. The coach can lose you the game, but it's the players. Because when you could
a head coach could lose you the game.
Yes,
it's a combination, but the players matter more. It's a combination, but the players matter more.
Yeah, because they have to execute.
Head coaches can lose you the game.
They have to execute.
Head coaches can lose you the game, but they're scheming these players open.
Head coaches can lose you. It depends on what happens. Head coach can lose you the game, and the player can lose you the game. It all depends on what the situation is. It all depends.
So, and it's just that I think if the only reason why I believe that we don't make it.
I know Dak's track record before the season started. Versus them first 5 games where it was just apparent. Like we all talked about it. That was not Dak, those first 5 games.
Yeah. Somebody had look. Somebody had him like this right here. Somebody had him chained up. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was him. It's what you call that OC.
Right?
It's the OC.
And I'm saying, like, yes. Was the offensive scheme really bad in the first 5 game? Yes.
Yeah.
But then as a sign of a above average coordinator, because coordinators don't do this. Average coordinators.
That dude, he had no choice because he was about to lose his job. He had to listen to somebody else.
Lose his job.
Lose his
job.
If we'd have lost, if we didn't play the way we playing right now, he wasn't coming back. They was gonna get rid of that dude. He knew it.
So then why aren't other coordinators doing the same thing? Why are they getting fired? Why did Josh McDaniels get fired? Why did Kennedy get fired on the Steelers? How come they knew that they're about to lose their job? So tell me what's the difference between
because they didn't
Mike McCarthy?
Well, it's
them?
different. If Dak then was over and playing on the other squad over there, you probably could come up with the same thing. Apples to apples and your oranges are oranges, but it's different. Different players over there.
I disagree, and that's the same thing. What happens with the because it seems like the Raiders are doing better. It seems like Russell Wilson's doing better.
Well, they still got the same coach.
I'm just trying to say, there's a different offensive coordinator, so there's got to be something different.
Russ is playing differently though. Like he's getting out of pocket more, so he can see down the field because he's shorter.
Scheme.
But yeah.
Scheme. So you can't tell me.
I don't know. Yes. I don't know if you could say that. I don't know if you could say that's scheme because he's had 2 offensive coordinators that worked with him before. One got fired, and the other one was looking like Sean Payton was looking like he might get fired too. So I think that just like what happened to Dak.
What did Sean Payton do? If Sean Payton's offensive coordinator, what do you think he did?
He started listening. For one.
You start
For
listening.
one, he started allowing they're reducing Russell Wilson's mistakes, and they're allowing the Russell do what he does best: play action, get out of the pocket, so he can see the field better, because he's not necessarily a great pocket quarterback because of his height. I think they started
So
doing
is
more
that
of
a
those
sign of
things.
an average coordinator, or is that a sign of above average coordinator?
All it sounded to me like
I
somebody
think
had that. All it sounded to me that somebody got sense enough to know, like, you know what that my scheme that I feel that is right is not right. I need to change to somebody else's because what I got going on ain't working.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like. That's what it
That's
sounds.
called good coordination. It's called
I
being
think
a
that's
good
called.
coordinator.
Okay,
Hey,
you can call it
something
good
that I'm
You
coordinator.
can
saying is not working,
you
so
can
let me
call
make
it that,
sure
but
that I
it
can
just
change
call
it.
it somebody that's said like if I don't change what I'm doing, we're gonna be screwed. So I better listen to somebody else. That's basically what it is.
change? That's what I'm saying. But like that's
Okay,
for
but then
you
how
to.
do you explain like the Jets? How do you explain the Jets then? Like, how do you explain teams like that?
What do you mean?
Like they're they don't have a quarterback, and look at their team.
They don't have a good coordinator either.
Okay.
So I mean they don't.
Okay.
They don't have a good coordinator.
Man,
So
look.
I mean,
Look,
I don't know what
I'm
to tell
sorry.
you.
I'm sorry. I'm not giving. You can, but I'm not giving McCarthy all of that. He's not that great to me. Like you was true. I consider him.
I didn't say he
I
was
don't.
great.
I don't
I didn't
consider
say he was
him.
great.
I don't think that he's a horrible offensive coach. I don't think that. But I don't think he's great offensive coach. I don't. I give him average,
Okay.
which is good
I
in
don't think he's
NFL
great
coach. It
either.
is average. Above average?
Maybe our words are different.
Maybe so.
Maybe our words are different
Maybe so.
because I have it in different things. I'm like, I have it horrible, bad, average, good, and then great. I think he's a good coordinator. He's not a great coordinator. He's a
He's
good.
not. I
Great
don't know
coordinators
about
are like your
good.
Kyle Shanahan's and your Andy Reid's, right? And
I'm
also
sorry.
like whatever the guy in Philadelphia is. Those are great coordinators.
Okay, look, man, I see right now that, you're not going to convince me, and it seems like I'm not going to convince you. So
No.
he's not
I mean, I
good
don't know
to
how
me.
many
To
times
me,
that's
agree.
to me, he
I mean,
is not good.
They can have the number one offense if they can have the number one offense and they can win the Super Bowl, and you'll still say that if you're still saying he's still an average coordinator.
Depending
then,
on the players that I see, depending on the players I see he run during the game, I'll make that decision. But right now, he just
I don't know.
he's not good.
Like the,
Because I still see plays I don't like.
Because, I mean,
those run plays.
the expectation is for this offense to be the number one offense, because that's what we were last year. That's what we were. I think we were the year before that, or we were top 5 the year before that, and the year prior. Like, outside of when Dak left, so probably not the year prior. Outside of Dak getting injured, so that's why I'm like, what you're saying is like I can't say. And then Mike McCarthy is not the only offensive coordinator. Like, he's calling plays, but he's not technically the offensive coordinator, because he did bring on another offensive coordinator. So I don't even know how much. I don't know how much.
You think it's Brian Schottenheimer?
I'm not saying it's one or the other. I'm saying it could be a combination of the three players, as in Dak Prescott.
Wait a minute. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Dak Prescott, he plays the role, but Brian Schottenheimer, the guy that has been last in offensive, had the number 32, 27, 28,
all right, hold on.
24 offense, and then all of a sudden
who was
like great.
Who was that?
He's got the MVP. What you expect?
Exactly.
Come on, man, stop playing.
But who was our offensive coach last year?
Quarterback.
Right. Who was our offensive coordinator last year?
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. What do you rate Kellen Moore?
I think he's an above average coordinator.
So where he play at now?
The Chargers.
And how do they play?
They're, as far as offensive goes,
I'm just saying. I'm
offensively pretty good.
Really?
Offensively pretty good.
Really?
Offensively pretty good.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. I'm not agreeing with you on that either. I'm not really. So the Chargers are really good right now. Chargers are really good right now.
Top 10, yes. I'm sorry to tell you.
Right. Come on, Joshua.
They played the Cardinals last game. look, they played the Cardinals last game, and again, Kellen Moore has great weapons all around him. Kellen Moore has great weapons all around him, but I think because I've heard the sentiments from because I live in San Diego, and I know Rams fans, and I've heard the sentiment, and they
Not
have
Ram
issues.
fans.
Yeah, what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Charger fans.
Charger fan.
Charger
but
fan.
but go ahead though.
Because I live in San Diego, so I see the Chargers, and I hear their sentiments, and they're I don't know, they're not happy. I can tell you that.
With Kellen Moore?
Because-
They're not happy.
I'll
with
say
the
because
whole-
it's partially right. Like it takes two. It takes a good offensive coordinator and a good quarterback.
because they
takes-
they played the Ravens and they put 10 points up on the Ravens, right? I mean, it's the Ravens. Packers, they lose the Packers. They put up 20 points versus the Packers. They play the Lions. Everybody's been putting up points on the Lions. 38 points on the Lions. 6 points. No, they put 27 on the Jets. I don't know. It's like up and down. I think their biggest thing is like they can never pull off one score wins. So, but once again, like I don't even know if Kellen Moore is above average coordinator because once again,
one score wins are. I mean, that has nothing. That has everything to do with the head coach.
yeah. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I can't tell if Kellen Moore is an above average coordinator or if he's a good coordinator or if he's just average or if he's a below average because he has great weapons all around. Like I'm just saying it's hard to tell because you have great weapons all around you. Like that, like a coordinator like the Panthers and Bryce Young would probably love to have the weapons that Herbert has. Love to have.
So let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask you a question. So let me ask you questions in that argument, right? When Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel got hurt, how good was the 49ers?
Yeah, they were bad for 3 straight games.
Yeah.
They were straight boo-boo, right?
Yeah.
So it's still gonna take players. We all know Kyle Shanahan's still a great offensive coordinator.
That was my argument in the beginning. You going back to my argument.
Yes, but he's still a great offensive coordinator.
Okay.
No, I'm making my argument because the fact is he's still a great coordinator because when he has those players around him, they're still like number 1, 2, or 3 or whatever like that. They're like number 3 in the NFL. With Dak Prescott, you're number 1. You still have to have a good coordinator. Sorry.
Yeah, to have a problem. You just have an average coordinator.
Look at the Cowboys in the 90s when what's his name? Not Marty Schottenheimer. After Jimmy Jones left, they went and hired head coach.
I know what you're talking about. The one from the college. They
lose that following season when they could have went back to back. And then the next season they won the Super Bowl.
The one who started with a hot mode that he does. That's the one with like pow. Huh? Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I'm just saying, like that. Sometimes when the team is stacked and they just need to
Somebody
recalibrate
right
the situation, they're always. I feel like they're more than not they're gonna pull out on top. And people question how good a head coach, the Big Zen was. Phil Jackson. The Big Zen. Phil Jackson, because he had. I mean, you still have to manage, and I think that the head coach too is being able to manage egos and being able to manage player personalities.
Yeah,
and being good in situational spots. I know people question Phil Jackson because, hey, you had Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, then you had Shaq and Kobe. And then he went to the Knicks and people were questioning him, but I think he still had, a lot to do with being able to manage those egos, those personalities, and he ran his triangle offense. That's basketball though, but I'm just saying.
Football is pretty much the same.
As far as coordination goes.
Yeah, football is pretty much the same. That's why we have all those penalties because it's great.
Right, and there's way more personalities, way more. So I would give more credit to Kellen Moore.
Head coaching. Those are not. That's head coaching.
But he's the same person. He's the same person, Joshua. He's the same person. It's making it seem like it's 2 different people. He's the same person.
It is. It's 2 different jobs.
But he's the same person, though.
You can draw up the play And at the end of the day, when the play falls apart and Dak Prescott makes a move, get out of pocket, whatever he does, and gets a first down and flexes on a dude, like I'm just saying, like that.
Oh,
has
he
nothing
flexed.
to
He
do-
flexed.
Let me
flexed.
ask you a question now. Dan
He
Quinn.
flexed.
Dan Quinn. Dan
I'm
Quinn.
saying, bro.
Do we all agree
What
Dan
about
Quinn's a
Dan
good
Quinn?
defense? Do we all agree that Dan Quinn's a good defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Yes, he's a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I
Do
think
we
good,
agree
yeah.
that he's a good head coach?
Because we know exactly what this defense looked like, a la before.
Is he a good head coach?
A good head coach. I don't have no history for me to make that
Oh,
determination.
yes, you do. Yes, you do. You
Talking about
have the
Atlanta?
Atlanta Falcons.
Talking about Atlanta
Well,
when he was there.
yeah, but we
You talking
have
about when
the
he-
Atlanta
when he-
Falcons, but at the same time, I wasn't following how good of head coach he was with the Atlanta.
Well, are you
Oh,
talking
he was
about?
not good.
Wait,
They
hold
did
on.
not like
he went
him.
to the Super Bowl.
Wait a
He
minute,
did
hold
not
on.
like him.
Why you saying it because he screwed up in the Super Bowl?
Not just that.
He
Not
said
just
not
that.
just
Because
that.
he got that team.
To the
and
Super
that
Bowl.
happens to a lot of coaches.
To the Super
like,
Bowl.
Like, look at Pete Carroll. Luckily, Pete Carroll didn't lose his job, but he lost the whole locker room after he threw the ball instead of ran Marshawn Lynch. That whole team fell apart after that.
Well, I have
Luckily
news
he
for you
kept his
that-
job and regrouped. But I'm just saying it happens to coaches all the time. Like,
Right.
By the
hey,
way,
sometimes
do you know who the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks was during that? Dan Quinn. But anyway,
Yeah.
So as I was saying before, he's a good defensive coordinator, but he's not as good a head coach as he is a defensive coordinator.
I don't think that.
Well, he got him to the Super Bowl. He
did
got him
get
to the
that
Super
team
Bowl,
to the Super
Joshua.
Bowl.
But he got
Oh,
him
he
to the
did?
Super Bowl.
So Mike McCarthy didn't? Oh,
Well,
he did.
yeah,
He did.
with
He
with
did.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah,
okay.
with Aaron Rodgers.
But that's two different.
So Dan
things
Quinn didn't
that
have
you're
Matt
saying,
Ryan?
though.
He didn't have Matty
That's two
Ice?
different
Oh yeah,
things
Matty
that you're
Ice
talking
and
about. You're talking about-
and Aaron
your
Rodgers is the
argument
same
about
people,
being
same
a
type
good
caliber.
being a good
right.
coordinator rather than being a good head coach. I'm not saying
Right.
Mike McCarthy's not a good head coach. I think he's like I said, he's
head
probably
coach.
average head coach because
Okay,
he makes
I agree.
too many.
I agree. He's an average head coach.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm not even sure I want to give him that as a head coach because, taking it back that penalty. Oh, Dallas don't want the penalty anymore. And now it's going to be 37 versus
Exactly.
second and 19.
100% agree.
Oh
with you.
my God!
But
Like who
coordination?
does that?
Differently.
I'm like, who
Coordination
does
is
that?
a lot different.
Say what?
Coordination is a lot different.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you're talking about the same person, Joshua. You ain't talking about two different people. Now if you're going to say he shouldn't be doing both of them, then argue that. But don't try to make it seem like a two different thing where you got one person doing them.
No, I'm saying he shouldn't be doing both jobs. I do agree.
I agree.
I do agree with that.
I totally agree. We
I would,
at least
look,
we
I
agree
would
to
rather
something.
have him as a coordinator. I'd rather have him as an offensive coordinator than a head coach.
I do too.
Oh, okay. So now you agree that he's an above average coordinator.
I didn't
so
say
we can
that.
Move
you
on
ain't-
from
no,
this.
no.
We
You
can move on
asked.
from
No,
that.
you said which one I'd rather have him do. If I had to have him doing one or
You
the
wanted to
other,
say
I'd
above
rather have
average
him
so
there
bad.
than I'd rather have him above.
He's above average.
Nah, he's
He's
average.
funny, Josh.
He's average.
Man,
It is what
God,
it is.
I don't know how good you would be. I don't know how good Dak Prescott and the gang would be if they had an above average coordinator. I mean, they'll probably score 70 points.
Yeah, they
game.
would. They would. I agree to you with that. I agree.
I mean,
Let's go with it.
Let's not take into account.
Let's
You're
go
never going to
with
be
it.
dropping the ball. CeeDee Lamb's never going to be dropping the ball.
No,
It'll
sir.
be Tony Pollard's never going to hit Tony Pollard in the face and he not catch it.
Oh
You
no!
know what I
I
mean?
tell you what
It's
though,
not-
those running players that
it's
we've
not
been
gonna be
running,
that.
those dumb running players we've been doing, we won't be
You know why
doing that.
happens? Josh, do you know why that happens though? Because you got an
Why?
MVP quarterback slinging him the rock.
That's right.
Why hit him in the face mask? MVP quarterback.
I'm not disputing how good Dak Prescott is playing right now. I'm not disputing that. But I'm just trying to say it takes still a good coordinator.
Okay, let's move on. We spent too long on this.
way too
You
long
think
talking
he's
about
above
McCarthy.
average? I have my question is still out there because I think it's more than just
I
Mike
can't.
McCarthy in my
right.
opinion. And
Yes,
Dad
me
thinks
too.
he's average to below maybe.
Yeah, we're not giving
So-
McCarthy way too much credit for this thing.
To below average?
I said Dad thinks he's maybe average to maybe below. I don't know. That I'm not gonna speak for that, but that's the sentiment I get from Dad. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
I have incomplete, so I don't even give him
I'm not even disputing
a
you. That's
rank.
the
No,
crazy part about
no.
it.
I think he's average. I'm not. I don't
Below
think he's below.
average?
No, I do not
You think
believe
he's
that he's below average. I believe he's an average coordinator.
Average to above
There you go.
average.
Okay, to make you feel better.
Josh, you think he's above average? That it's okay for Dad to think that he's average.
Right.
Okay, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Okay. All right. We win it. Like, let's just dead it right there.
Right.
I'm
right.
not even giving him a grade. I think you should be more mad at me. But anyways, let's move it on.
Right. Okay, but let's go in and flip it but to the defense side. Let's go and flip it to the defense side.
You mean above? You mean average to above?
Right. He tried to edge everything he can, right? He tried to edge, but I'm not giving him that. But look, we're gonna go to the defense. We're talking about Dan Quinn. Now, do you think that this game said anything that we need to worry about? Our defense, because you do. And why is that? Because we about to play in Philly, and we played Philly really well. We lost the game, obviously, but tell me what you think about that defense. And
So I'll say this, right? The Seattle Seahawks saw what the 49ers did, and they pretty much mirrored it. And it worked almost flawlessly, right? You are going to see the 49ers, right? In this playoffs. Now, granted, was the Seahawks doing this prior to yesterday? No, they weren't doing this prior to yesterday. But
they were doing it earlier in the season,
something.
though. They had before they had so many injuries, I would say.
If you see something not working, which he did kind of change it a little bit, right? I do, but I think he needs to address it a little quicker. Right? He needs to address, all right, maybe we don't need to have man coverage and maybe we need to switch to zone a little bit more, right? Let's stop leaving Bland on an island, right? Because he's struggling this game. Maybe have a safety over the top, right? And
that's the biggest thing.
Right? And then and it's up to the coordinator to be like, hey, Jaron Curse, or was it Wilson? Wilson. All right, well, Dono, hey, I need you to actually play the safety, and I need you to shift a little bit more to a Deron Bland side, right? I don't think that his schemes were not favorable to the schemes that they were playing, and he didn't have the corners to do that. And it was all about matchups, and he should have switched the scheme, not scheme, but his scheme pretty much a little bit. He should have altered it a little bit, and he didn't do that.
So you think that's a problem going forward?
I can see where you're coming from.
Because that's what an above average coordinator would do. If something's not working, they would change it up.
When did you would change it? You would change it after 7 more games to go by?
Yeah,
I'm just since you want to make that comment, saying yeah.
Eventually, seven games have gone by. It seems like nothing has changed.
Yeah,
you're right. It seems seven has gone by, and it seems like nothing has changed
on the defense.
Really, Joshua?
When it comes to that type of play style,
you talking about the defense?
When it comes to quick release,
I know. Yeah, he's talking about defense. I don't know what he's talking about right now.
Did Deron Bland not get cooked?
How many Metcalf is in the season? I mean, in the football world, how many Metcalfs that we going to see?
Yeah, we're not going to see another Metcalf for a while. We're going to see someone.
We may not see a lot of Metcalfs, but I can guarantee you, we're going to see a lot more.
Tyreek. That's
who's
the only one.
Quarterback for the Seahawks. We're going to see a lot more of him. No, probably better quarterbacks.
We're going to see better quarterbacks. But I don't look.
Okay, I got something to say that.
Did Bland get a little bit exposed this game? Yeah, I think it was a combination. And once I watched all 22, I think Bland got I'll say got exposed, but I don't feel like he got exposed necessarily. But
because of the safety work,
it was a rough matchup, right? When you have this kind of receiving core, and especially when Geno Smith is a good enough above average quarterback, he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback, and especially when all his weapons are playing to a high level and show up like they did today. Metcalf only I think had like one drop this game, and he was just taking everything to the house. I mean, it's going to be hard to stop. And DK Metcalf, I think, got that offense going when he scored
Yep.
that first touchdown for them. But again, no one's talking about Dallas play. Like I think the stat was we played 3 games in 12 days or something like that. We've had short weeks, and I think
Look, I'll
that
give
might
you
have
that.
been. I think
I mean,
that
that was a
might have.
factor too.
I
I mean,
think
I
that
say
might
it
have
tongue
been.
in cheek.
I think that might have been, a slight factor to, maybe they didn't have much film prep, much scout defense or scout offense. And then how do you prepare for DK Metcalf? He's just a big, strong, physical guy, and he's super fast. Like he's AJ Brown with speed. So yeah, so I think this was, but I mean, Deron Bland did some good things in the game, and Deron Bland had some bad things happen to him in this game. But guess what? He's still one of the things that I looked at this game. He didn't let that shake him up. He didn't turn into a Morris
Hello, pumpkin.
Claiborne, or he didn't. Yeah, he didn't let that, or Terrence Newman, if y'all remember way back when. He didn't let it get to him. He shook it off, and he was still competing. He was still out there getting after the football. He's
That's
got a
right.
Which is
pick.
great.
He got a pick in crucial situation, and then I will even commend the defense on getting 3 crucial back-to-back stops. Like got a pick, got off the field, got a 4 and out, got off the field, got another 4 and out, got off the field to help in the game. Like when they needed to step up, they stepped up.
Yeah, it did.
Maybe they weren't expecting, the game to go away. It went. Maybe they had another scheme that they wanted to run. But today Seattle, when we played them, it didn't
Right.
work. So back to the drawing board. Look at those safeties, because Deron Bland didn't look like he had any safety help. I don't think Deron Bland is at that point in his career yet where you can just say him on an island. He is only a second-year player. But hey, it is what it is. I think he'll learn from this. I think we've learned from it, and we're gonna move on with it. And we got
The bigger question is not if we learn from it. It's not even if Bland learns from it. The bigger question is if Dan Quinn learns from it. That's it. Whether you like it or not. I mean, you're gonna have to like coach your guys or scheme, right? Like Bland shouldn't be in that particular
Predicament.
situation in the first place,
Right.
right?
I
I
agree.
mean, so Metcalf is look. I think just like you, I think that he was resilient. I mean, I think he's going to bounce back from this. I 100% agree, right? But he should have been that coordination should have been a little better, right? I say it tongue in cheek. Of course, Dan Quinn's an awesome defensive coordinator, right? But he needs to go back into in his study and be like, okay, this is the same way how San Francisco attacked us. Now this is the same way, or this is the same way how San Francisco attacked us. Seahawks attacked us like this. There's obviously a hole to the strategy that I have to attack the offense. He's more of an aggressive defensive coordinator, right? Maybe he needs to play a little bit more conservative, right, to get rid of the big plays, because you're either going to be a big play on the defense, or the offense is going to get a big play, and that's what happened with the second or third play of the Seahawks.
Yeah, but I honestly don't think that was not Dan Quinn's fault at all. Like I don't think anything in this game necessarily. I don't think it was Dan Quinn being bad matchup scheme wise. I think it was bad players not playing how they're supposed to be. Why is Bland looking at Malik Hooker next to him and nobody over top of him? I don't think that has anything to do with Dan Quinn or Deron Bland. I think that's Malik Hooker following the quarterback's eyes and getting drawn in. Like I can't.
Dan Quinn has been known. He's been known as a coordinator
okay.
in
but okay, I'm going. I always go based off what's happening this season. That's one thing I can't stand about the media, about other coaches, about what everybody always saying, because they're always talking about, well, he did this, he did this. Okay, but what is he doing this year? This year, Dan Quinn has been really good. We have not given up too many big plays. I don't even think we've given up a big play.
Like I'm not trying to say this. I'm not trying to say I'm basing this off of. It's not. He has the ability to, if he needs to, he can double a wide receiver. He's done it before. That's why I'm kind of curious why he didn't purposely double a wide receiver.
I don't think he came into this game and was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna leave Bland one-on-one on DK if DK's on. I don't think any coordinator would do that. Like, no.
Not anyone with sense.
He's not going to go into the game, especially the way our Metcalf was playing. I understand that, but if your wide receiver is going for like over 100 yards in the first half, right? Obviously, something needs to be changed, which he did. I have to give him credit because he did, right? So then that's when you started to see a switch where, what's his name? On the other side, not
Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore started almost, in a sense, shadowing Metcalf. So, like, he did, but I think he should have done that a little earlier. Like, oh man, this is not working. Maybe we need to change something up, right? Don't wait till
you're not always. And the same thing too is like, we want instant change right then, but they're gonna go back. Like, everything happens by series. Like, they're gonna go back. I understand coming in the second half. Okay, this is what they're doing to us. Let's go ahead and make the adjustments. Which in the second half, he did do. The defense was much better. And at the end of the day, all I know is that when we needed back-to-back stops, we got back-to-back stops.
You got lucky. You got lucky. Let's be honest.
I'll take luck. I'll take luck in the game because lucky give you a win.
You got lucky on one play, and that's not even luck. That's not even luck. You got lucky on one play, but it's not luck. You're talking about the play where Parsons got home.
You talking about the 4-2?
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one where it was in Lockett's hands, and he dropped it.
Oh, okay.
It was a big play.
That's one play. Hey,
those were one of the stops. I'm saying you got lucky. That's what I'm saying.
Stop. Hey, it stopped. Hey, still got to stop.
That's not part of Dan Quinn. That's not part of Dan Quinn. That was just, and I get it, right? But I'm just saying.
Yeah, right. That's not part of Dan Quinn. That's not Dan Quinn's fault that dude was right behind him. But hey, anyway, he got the stop.
I'm just trying to look, and I get it. I'm not trying to say that you're.
He put them in the best position possible. At the end of the day, DK Metcalf is a Pro Bowl player, and he's an All-Pro caliber player. Like, hey, he gonna eat, and today he ate. Unfortunately, it was on us. Unfortunately, we big up our defense, and we don't want to see stuff like this happen. But hey, it's gonna happen. It's the new league.
Yeah, I get it. But then you have to make adjustments. You have to make more adjustments than that.
And to me, I feel like he did. To me, the first half was way different than the second half.
Well, how many? Do you know how many? Do you know how many yards he got the first half? Was he in the hundreds?
I don't know how many yards.
I think he was he was close.
Because I know he ended up with 130. Close. So something must have changed. So
yeah, I mean, it said.
I don't know, but he wasn't a factor in the fourth quarter.
No, sir. No, he was not. No, he not like the first. Not the first half. He did not. He was the first half. He was like a beast, which he is. You know. What I'm saying?
All I'm saying is that like the 49ers. You're gonna play the 49ers in the playoffs, more than likely, right? And they're gonna have this type of player, right? If you don't think that Deebo Samuels and DK Metcalf are like very similar, then I don't know what to tell you.
Wow. They're not. They are, but they're not. DK
Deebo Samuels not.
DK is in a whole nother stratosphere. DK is like Tyreek Hill. Because they do not have Deebo Samuels. Less is a physical receiver.
He's a big dude. Brown is a physical. He's a big dude.
They don't have DK speed. They don't have DK speed. They have nowhere near DK speed. DK is more closer to Tyreek Hill than both with AJ Brown and Deebo being closer to him.
Right. What's funny is they timed his miles per hour running, and he had the fastest one this year. Metcalf.
So yeah, that dude is
All I'm saying
do
is
it fast.
they need
that
this.
dude is
They need
big and moving.
scheme.
Like
I do it fast.
I get it. I understand, but they still need
Yeah,
a
that's all
scheme.
I'm
They
saying.
still need a scheme for things like this. This is a similar game, and they
And when
something
we
I'm just saying.
and when we played the Seahawks, it wasn't Debo Samuels that beat us. It was Kittle. It was
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk. So they need to figure out how to hold on to those other guys around them, and still figure out how to keep Debo in check. So and
Right,
AJ
and
Brown
that's the
didn't
same thing.
go off on us either. AJ Brown didn't go off on
didn't.
us either.
I understand. Like I get it.
That's all I'm
I
saying.
get what
Like,
you're
some
saying.
days you gonna,
But
some days,
but CD went off on them though. CD went off on them
definitely
though.
went off on them.
Woo!
You guys are looking at this holistically, and I'm trying to break it down. Like you're gonna see this, and like you do not want to have a day like this against the 49ers. You don't, because you're not gonna win the game.
Yeah, you are. I don't know what you're talking about. If we
Oh my God.
go for
Oh,
both,
so what you saying
I don't
is
care.
we're not gonna
Brock
be.
Purdy, I got Dak Prescott. What are you talking about? I got the MVP. Get out of here, bro. If you telling me right now Dak gotta go and get a tub, and he's not gonna go get a tub? Come on, stop it.
Yeah,
Stop it.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're not gonna win this game because if this is the 49ers and they did that, I don't care. My defense gonna figure it out. They're gonna go they're gonna get 4 outs. I don't care.
So let me ask you a question. So what's the difference now between the first game and this game?
That playing different. That's the difference.
Yes.
That playing different.
Yes.
That's not the same Dak.
Wow. So Dak
That was
that's when McCarthy was calling plays by himself. Look, that's when McCarthy was calling plays by himself.
Oh, okay. So now that we got better coordination now we have a better coordinator. So
That's right. That's right.
We
got because he was playing, but no, because he was playing below average at the first half. Now he's playing average, so now he's doing good. So I agree to that. So let's go.
No,
but check this out, though.
Right.
But check this out, though. Well, we're going to have to get up out of here, though, because, we got to get that things done. This Sunday's coming, man. We're going to see who's the man when we look at them San Francisco to get them against them Eagles. And we're going to see what's happening, you know what I'm saying? Because that's going to really show who is the man, and that's Dakota Prescott. You better believe it, baby. Because we about to go do this thing, man. Hey, look, if this is your first time here, again, I'm always saying, look down, hit that subscribe. That's right, hit that subscription button, hit that like button, do all of that there. Because you know who we are? How about them Cowboys? We gonna do it again. Yeah, we go again, setting it straight with fam, my boy, Joshua Jordan, doing it again. Can't wait to see you guys again. We'll see you guys again next week. And we're gonna do it like we've been doing it. That's right. Hey!